Welcome to Game Week with the Compas. It's NFL Week 16, and yeah, I gotta admit, I'm all over the place today, so I'm gonna try to gather my thoughts here to share all the information from Las Vegas for the odds in NFL Week 16. If you're new here, this is the betting show for Compas on the beat. In a bit, my good friend, the producer of the show, Victor Javier Corona, is gonna join us in a bit. But for right now, I'm gonna try to share some information, but I'm a little behind today. The Bears try to have has some news that I have to cover, and the Bears are trying to move to Indiana, or I don't know. If you're a Chicago Bears fan, you're probably not happy about the new stadium having to go from Chicago to Arlington Heights to maybe now Northwest Indiana. But if you care about that, go check out my story at si.com. Yeah, I got to promote my work here, and also if you're watching this on a Thursday, check out my betting column at si.com. So yeah, I do it all here. Host for Compas on the Beat, NFL reporter for SI, but also NFL reporter for Compas on the Beat. And you know why I'm a reporter? Because I'm gonna share information. And I was very curious about Lamar Jackson, Action Jackson. The Ravens are playing the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. And I talked to Mike Palm, the odds maker at the Circa. Check out the Circa, a great place to be when you're in Las Vegas. Uh, it definitely has like a throwback vibe, but also like a very hip vibe. Anyways, but check it out. I love that place. And Mike was saying the people still love Lamar Jackson. I was, what, really? And I started thinking, I guess I could see it here. And I'll give you my thoughts in a bit when Victor comes on, but I'm pretty conflicted here. Patriots, Ravens, and I was very genuinely curious about the public and what they're thinking. Even the Sharps, or the Sharps are kind of saying, we don't really care about this game. If the Ravens go -3.5, they're waiting for the public to give them a good number. But the Sharps are like, we don't really care about this game. So that kind of tells you the respect they still have on Lamar Jackson. So if they get the right number, they'll bet against them, they'll fade them, but not yet. And Mike said they'll probably stay at -3. So, and then one more thing before Victor jumps on, Seahawks, Rams. The Rams were the favorite pretty much the whole week. Now the Seahawks are the favorite here. So we're not going to discuss that too much. I'll get Victor's thoughts in a bit. But check out the interview with Tyler Dragon on Compas on the Beat, House of Horns. We had a good discussion on Rams, Seahawks, and then we're going to have a preview show later today. If that's Wednesday night, I'm losing track here. So if you're watching this on a Thursday, check out House of Horns for Rams versus Seahawks preview. But we'll share our picks here in a bit too as well. So with that being said, Victor, how you doing?
Doing good. Happy to hop on here. But yeah, a lot of kind of weird circumstances going on, Gilbert, with a lot of these lines that I was really wanting to talk to you about. Oops, sorry, I put the wrong one in there. And you started it off with the Lamar Jackson. I can understand why the Lamar Jackson one makes a lot of sense to me, because we had this stat earlier in the season, Gilbert, where when he's an underdog by 4 or more, they usually cover. Like, he's been really good. So I wonder if bettors they're like, if it's under 3, we're good. If we get it over 4, I don't want to mess with it. So
Good
I
point.
wonder if that's where all this money's coming in for the Ravens. And I was kind of shocked because when the week started, it was at +1.5 for the at -1.5 for the Patriots. So it's flipped almost 4 points. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy to see.
Yeah, they're a public team right now, the Ravens, but it kind of says something that the Sharps are like, nah, we don't want that, +3 in New England. A lot of times when a team loses, they're like, you know what, they're gonna bounce back this week, and that's when the public goes the other way to fade them, and the pros are saying, nah, we believe in that team, but they want a good number, so that kind of tells you both sides are thinking the Ravens could be back here. I sound like Nicolas Cage here. I think I'm back here. But yeah, we'll break it down right now. But I'm very conflicted, Victor, and I'm very curious to hear your thoughts here. So that is our main event game of the week here. But
Yeah, let's start off with that.
To start week 16, there's been so much odds movement throughout the week. So we're gonna discuss a lot of movement here for the show.
Yeah, and I mean, let's get into it. I mean, our main event game of the week, as you mentioned, is the New England Patriots traveling to the Baltimore Ravens. And as we just discussed, the Ravens are our 3-point favorites. The over under here is 48.5. And so what you kind of talked about the numbers. I even mentioned how good Lamar Jackson is in terms of when he's an underdog by 4 points or more. Where are you at with this game? And in terms of like, I guess talking to the odds maker, what's been your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, and kind of give you some behind the scenes. When I wrote that title, Lamar Jackson is struggling. Time to fade the Ravens? Question mark. Again, I was very curious to see if people are going to fade him or not. And you know, I am worried about Lamar Jackson. I think he is struggling. I think he doesn't look like a superstar quarterback this year. Maybe he's injured and people are not saying anything. Or he's not saying anything. He had the hamstring pull. I want to say what back in week 5 or week 6, I forget. He missed 3 games, and ever since that game, he hasn't been running, and that's what makes Lamar Jackson, a difference maker. And I could tell over the weeks he's been running a little more, but still very cautious. And I get it. It's a long season, but the time is now. You got to start using your gifts and your abilities to win a game. If Lamar Jackson could put the team on his back, I think they have a chance to make the playoffs, Vic. But with that being said, I'll stop being around the bush. I'm gonna go with the Ravens here, and I like what you said too on them. When they're over that line there, when they're heavy favorites, and they have them in covering. When they're dogs, they do cover too. So it kind of feels like a pick 'em game, and they're at home -3. They need the game also a lot more. The Patriots have some urgency too after losing to Buffalo, and the Bills are right there, breathing down their necks for the AFC East title. But it's not a Lamar Jackson thing either, Vic. I really like what I saw from the Ravens defense, and we don't discuss them as enough like we do Lamar, but they've also been pretty up and down. Like they have a lot of star power in this defense, and they have one good week, one bad week, one good week. And last week they shut down Joe Burrow. They gave Joe Burrow one of his worst career performances, and to shut out an opponent that has Burrow and Jamar Chase. I want to say the game was in Cincinnati. I could be wrong. I forgot, but it was 24-0, and that was like rock bottom for Zach Taylor, who's on the hot team now. So that defense is clicking. They see that the Steelers haven't lost a game yet. They've won back-to-back games. They beat them last week, and then the Steelers beat the Dolphins. So they need this game more. I'm expecting a dominant performance defensively to maybe frustrate Drake May here, but I do have concerns about Lamar Jackson. And then we've been on this together, Vic. Lamar Jackson's not going to face like a juggernaut defense either. Mike Vrabel's defense has kind of been overrated because of his reputation. That defense still has ways to go to click. So with that being said, give me the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm rolling with the Ravens here at -3. Like I said, um, and I'm not hating on the Patriots. What they've done this season is well earned. Mike Vrabel getting Coach of the Year consideration here is well deserved. Drake May being a front runner for the MVP as well, or in the conversation, is also well deserved because you look at the rest of the team there. He's kind of elevated that team to be able to win the amount of victories that they've gotten. But I think the Bills kind of exposed some of their weaknesses defensively, and you mentioned going back to Baltimore too with Lamar Jackson. It feels like he's starting to get more comfortable with him running. If you as a runner you've done cross country, how a hamstring can it takes a while. And not only that, where any kind of injury, I've had injuries where I don't feel right until it's sometimes it stays in your head for a while until you just finally let it go, and you understand that, hey, I finally feel okay. That's why it takes a lot of, like, everybody just expect, oh, they're professional athletes, they're gonna be okay right away. And it's taking him, like, I felt like in that Bengals game he ran a little bit more. But I'm with you. This is the time for the Ravens, and they're everything's like, they have to get it done in this week, or else say goodbye to the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see. Like it's a tough. They actually have a very tough schedule. I think
Yes.
they play Green Bay next week, and then they end up with Pittsburgh. So you have to pretty much beat New England. You have to beat uh, Green Bay and Pittsburgh. Like the Steelers are gonna. We'll talk about. It. They're probably gonna lose to Detroit. That's my
Yeah.
guess. And then say if the Ravens beat a difficult Patriots team, that's even. But then the Steelers have the freaking Browns next week, and the Steelers already have one game ahead on Baltimore. I don't even know what the tiebreaker is, Vic, to be honest, if they get to that point. But overall, I think Baltimore needs to win now to have a legit chance here.
Yeah, and I was listening to Seth Walder on the Ringer today, and he from ESPN, and outside of tomorrow's game, in terms of like having the most possibilities for the playoff position, what happens with whether the Rams or the Seahawks win. That last game between the Ravens and the Steelers is the second most important game left according to
Wow.
the analytics, Gilbert. So yeah, like I think everybody is expecting, as Tyler Dragon said yesterday, to kind of promote that interview again. He talked about the fact that that's probably going to be game two. What is it? Whatever the last game of the season
Game
is,
272.
70, 272. So yeah, if that's the case and both of those teams are up for the division, I think that's going to be the Sunday night
Yeah.
game
Be-
on NBC.
Before we move forward, I wanted to tell Tyler I don't want that as the final
Oh,
game. I
I'm with
have
you.
no interest in that game, and also I
Yeah.
don't want to see Carolina, Tampa Bay, which we're going to see
No.
here this weekend. I'm kind of keeping an eye on Chargers Broncos. That would be my.
Yes, I'm with you. That was the one I wanted to bring up, but we are kind of running out of
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
and I was like, well, why not Chargers Broncos there? But especially if it's for the division and
Oh
it's
yeah.
here. Yeah, actually, it would be in Denver. All right, Gilbert, let's get to our co-main event game of the week, and that is the Green Bay Packers traveling to the Chicago Bears. The Bears now are 1.5 point favorites. The over under here is 46.5. Now, this line also changed. I think it changed 4 points. Is this all because of Micah Parsons?
I think a little bit, but also like he's been hurt for like we've known for a while he's been out. So, uh, I think it's more of like sharp money coming in. That's always the mover. It's when big money comes in, respected players come in. Like, oh, what is that person? Or like that person is going on them. So, uh, and then the combination of the Packers not really being a public team anymore. There's a lot of factors here too. Like one thing that's kind of been on my radar, and I think I got burned with this one last week, and you're on it. It was the Bills Patriots, and I did mention it. It's like a lot of times when rivals are close, they're gonna split 1-1, and who cares if who's a home team or who's the other team or
Yep.
whatever, who's the road team. They're gonna find out what it's split. And even though New England was up 21-0, still got a split there. So that could be it too, because the Packers got them the first time. The Bears are at home. They also might have figured out something from Green Bay, and they lost Michael Parsons. So I think combination of uh, public money going to Chicago, and then some big money makers are putting money on Chicago here. So that's my guess. But the Bears still kind of have to have that little bit of a prove it mentality, or people want that. That's their mentality for people. So it's very interesting to see what they do here. But I did like what I saw in the first game. I know you did too, Victor. I know Caleb Williams could still be up and down, but in that Packers game, he finally put together a game where he's able to move away from the pocket and then hit most of his throws. Accuracy is still an issue. We saw his big arm when that touchdown throw at DJ Moore against the Browns last week. I know it's the Browns, but he has that skill set. So I think eventually when he puts that together, this Bears team is going to be pretty scary. But for now, I think having a running game, a defense that's able to have to generate takeaways, and then a Jordan Love who's been struggling. At least last week he did, and then no Michael Parsons. I'm okay with the Bears here. I know people. I hate to follow the crowd, and but there's sharp money here too. So I'll take the Bears here. I just because I think they're going to even the series here.
Yeah, and I'm with you here with the Bears. I like everything you said. I think I ended up in my best bets. I ended up just going the other way just because of the number, Gilbert. It was more of taking the number here, but I'm
Yeah,
with
you're a
you.
dog with Green Bay, which is good.
Yeah. I like the Bears to win. I just feel like it's probably going to be really close. But to your point, I just wanted to, talk about the Bears and the Packers here on both sides of the ball. And I'll be quick here. The Bears running game has been really impressive. And that's going to travel, I feel like, and I think that's the reason why this is a favorite for why the Bears are a favorite. But I'll say this too. And I saw this, I heard this today as well. It has to do with the Packers with Micah Parsons on the field, Gilbert. Their pressure rate was like some insane number, like 46 and a half. Without him is like 20%, which is the worst in the NFL. And we saw, Gilbert, too, what happened with the Cowboys. The Cowboys went from a really top 10 defense with Micah Parsons to now
Yeah.
being one of the worst. The Packers are gonna, do the same thing. And now you're giving them that you're rolling in with the Bears and that running game, with the two-headed monster and that offensive line. Like I think that's been the most impressive thing too with Ben Johnson is how he was able to fix that offensive line. I mean, this was
Oh yeah.
like a bottom two defense in the league last year, and now it's a what, top five offensive line? That's
Yeah.
incredible.
I remember Ryan Poles, like he's been there for a while and he's spent a lot of money on the O line. He's even invested in the O line with first round draft picks. He got Darnell right, and it just wouldn't work. And I'm like, yeah, you got the talent, but it's not working there. And it was putting Poles on a hot seat because he couldn't fix that, especially after Caleb Williams took what 68 sacks as a rookie, insane number. That's why coaching matters, man. Freaking Ben Johnson. I thought that paying or bringing in Jonah Jackson back was going to backfire because he struggled with the Rams, but he knows how to coach him up. Darnell Wright, who was supposed to be a bust, he was like a top 10 or 11 pick,
Yeah,
now
top
doing
10.
very well as a right tackle. They still need a left tackle. And then Drew Dahman, who the center, who people thought, a little overrated. There's a reason why the Falcons let him go from free agency. Boom, right away, he might be a Pro Bowler. So that's three guys right there who are doing well with him there. So yeah, Ben Johnson's making a difference there, and I'm with you. I'll take the Bears here.
Yeah, I like the Bears to win. I just like I
Oh, the
don't know.
number,
I'm gonna
yeah,
go the other way in terms of the
yeah.
line there with the
The 1
Packers.
point Bears victory and the Packers cover.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we're gonna have a walk since we're not gonna cover the Rams game this week, just because we have a preview show and it's a Thursday night game. We decided to add here a wild card game of the week, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the Denver Broncos. You have the Broncos as a 3-point favorite. The over under is 46 and a half. What are the numbers saying in this matchup, Gilbert?
Yeah, it's been a lot of Broncos here. People don't have respect for the Jaguars, and it's funny because it's kind of like what you've done for me lately. And the Broncos kind of still have that that pretender label hanging over them. But when you beat the Packers, you're at home. You've won, I think, 11 games in a row. A very good defense here to me. People like what they see lately, and that's going to be all Denver here. And honestly, I'm starting to buy in. I know. And shout out to Angel for dropping a comment there saying, "What's up, compas?" And Angel is a Chargers fan. So people don't like when I say that I'm giving Bo Nix credit here. And I like what he's done for offensively. I like his chemistry with Cortland Sutton. I still think Sutton is more of a number two, very reliable wide receiver. But look at his skill players; they're not like elite players. They're not all Pro Bowlers, and to me, it shows a lot that if we, Josh Allen needed a Stephon Diggs to help him kind of find this game. For him to do that, and also in Sean Payton's offense, it goes a long way. But honestly, this is more about the defense. I like Trevor Lawrence. He's actually got him into the divisional round of the fantasy playoffs. I picked them up because I've been streaming quarterbacks, and I forgot who screwed me over, and I ended up getting Lawrence just kind of to see how it went. And we've won 3 games in a row together, Trevor. But this week I got to bench you, man. You're playing the Denver defense. It's going to be tough here. So, with that being said, give me the Broncos. I'll take the -3. I do like what I see in Denver here. We've talked about the Chargers and the AFC West race. It's going to be tough for them to go beat Green Bay, beat Jacksonville, and I forget who they played next week. It's a tough game too.
Yeah, before
Uh,
the Chargers. It's
yeah,
another tough game too.
well, maybe not anymore. It's Kansas
Yeah,
City.
the Chiefs.
But
Yeah,
still, it's a
never mind.
rivalry game, and like we mentioned, when you split, sometimes the other team is gonna get the second one. So for them to win out, it'll be very difficult, Vic. I still think they're gonna lose one, but I'm gonna say no here. So I guess that means they're gonna lose to Kansas City. But regardless, whatever, I'll go with Denver.
Yeah, and even Angel says I have to give those damn ponies credit too. And I'll
Yeah.
say this: look, I'm gonna go the other way.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go with the Jaguars here. And the reason I'm going is because ever since they got destroyed by the Rams in London, this team has been scoring over 32 points on offense, Gilbert. It seems like
Yeah.
once they got, they put Travis Hunter on IR, they traded for Jacoby Myers. Jacoby
Oh,
Myers just has made life easy for Trevor Lawrence. He gives them that safety valve, and it's allowed them to kind of set their offense how they want, right? They have a guy underneath in Jacoby Myers, and they have what's his name? Brian Thomas, that can stretch the field. And then you have what is the third guy that was with the
oh,
Broncos, Patrick. He comes in and he also adds a little bit of an element for them. And then
yeah.
you got the two-headed monster there in the backfield with ETN, and I forget the rookie's name.
210. Yeah,
Huh?
210. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got it.
Tootin. And so I like what they've been doing, and then they're also honestly, Gilbert, I feel like the Jaguars are the AFC version of the Bears, right? Rookie quarterback, I mean rookie head coach. They have a defense that has some names, but they've been opportunistic. Like they take the ball away.
That's true.
And then offensively, they have an offensive guy running things. And then he's been able to get the most out of Trevor Lawrence. And so for me, I just feel like this is a big thing for like, I get it. It's the Jaguars. We're not supposed to take them seriously, right? And the Broncos are, like you said, they're on this long winning streak. But as I said, it just seems like it's been such an upside down year this year that I want to start giving the AFC South some credit here. And since I said that, it seems like the AFC North and the AFC South kind of have switched positions here. I'm gonna give the Jaguars here the benefit of the
Yeah.
doubt now.
Yeah, it'll be my last thing here because we gotta get moving. But I like what you said about the offense, picking it up since London. And honestly, I know they choked that game. I think they lost a 15-point lead
To the
against
Texans,
Houston.
yes.
They dropped about 30 points or 29 points on
Yep.
them, and that's a lot more points than anybody has dropped on them in the last 2 months. So hey, they did that to them, and now you're playing Denver. So we'll see.
Yeah, and they've been tested by defenses like the
Yeah,
the Rams
yeah,
and the
they
Texans. So
know what to face, or they know what's coming ahead.
yeah, and to Angel's point, as we move on, if there's anybody that can pick apart that defense, it's Liam Cohen. So that's also another thing to kind of keep in mind. So let's head over now, Gilbert, to the LA betting market. We're gonna, do just the one LA team today, and that is the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to the Dallas Cowboys. And this really, really kind of like it was an eye opener when I saw the line. The Cowboys are 2.5 point favorites, and the over under here is 49.5. And I'll be honest with you, like this is one of my best bets, but that over under, I'm telling you, it's going to be under for sure. But what are the numbers saying here? And were you also surprised when you saw this number?
Yeah, and real quick, after this game, let's just make our picks very quickly for Rams
Yeah,
Seahawks. We don't leave it out,
right.
and then we'll move forward. But yeah, I think I jumped on here late to play catch up and to see what's going on with the numbers. And you told me that the Cowboys are now the favorite, and I had to refresh my page. I'm like, yeah, you're right. They're -2.5, and it does. I'll say a couple things here, and I'll call myself out. I know I gave you crap for not trying to give me credit for the Chargers pick against the Chiefs last week, because on this show I did say, you know what, I rather stay away. I didn't have full trust in the Chargers against the
Yeah.
Chiefs, but it was either Chargers or stay away, and I get why you gave me crap there. So with that being said, I think people are going to be like, man, this guy always finds something negative to say about the Chargers, but I just want to say, I think this line is a little phony. I think it's a little like, hey, look, go, why do people want the Cowboys? Why are they favorite? Oh, is there a sharp play here? Oh man, should I be worried? Oh, I'm gonna fade the Chargers up. And I remember this. We had this conversation for the Texans Chiefs game, and I'm like, if it looks too good to be true, uh, don't fall for it. And it's like, yeah, this doesn't seem right. Like if it doesn't seem right, don't jump on it. And I told you the one that did seem true was the Texans game. I'm like, you know what? It passes the test to me. I don't care about the red flags. I'm gonna go here. the Cowboys game, there's too many red flags, but let me just tell you why I think people are jumping in on Dallas. And it got me to almost. I know people call me a hater. I almost picked Dallas for this, but no. After Dallas, shit the bed against Minnesota. They look pretty bad. They also look bad against Detroit. It's just it looks like a bad matchup on paper for the Chargers because they can't score points. When you're playing an Eagles team that doesn't score the way Dallas does, when you're playing a KC team that doesn't score the way that Dallas does. So, say, Pickens and Lamb and Dak have a couple good series and they're up 20-3 or whatever. Can Justin Herbert and his bad old line climb out of that? People might say, actually, no. Like, yeah, actually, when I say things like that, it makes sense. But this Cowboys team, it doesn't matter when they have an explosive offense. They just know how to screw it up. I'd rather trust Jim Harbaugh here. He knows how to make the game physical. He likes to mess with your mind. He's going to throw you off your game plan. This Cowboys team needs to be in a rhythm. They're not going to get in a rhythm. So to me, look at the red flags here. Don't follow the crowd and say, well, Cowboys are our favorite now. Something's going on with the Chargers. Yeah, we know what's going on with the Chargers. They got no O-line. Well, guess what? Cowboys have no pass rushers. So to me, when you're seeing the way Justin Minter is playing defensively for his team or with his team or guiding his team, they're going to shut down that Cowboys team. They're going to frustrate the crap out of them. And then you got them where you want them, Jim Harbaugh, the frustration, the physicality of the game. So to me, don't fall for the phony baloney. I'm taking the Chargers, and I'll take the 3 points here. Why not?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's one of my best bets for a reason. And you got to it there at the end. It's about being physical. And what do you do when you go up against these offenses? You just play physical, and sometimes you punch them in the mouth, and they don't punch back. And you saw it against the Lions. You saw it against the Vikings. Those teams, yeah, the Lions defense isn't as good as everybody expected it to be this season, but that's because of injuries. But one thing you can always count out is on them being physical. Same thing with the Minnesota Vikings defense. And you're telling me that you lose to JJ McCarthy, a rookie quarterback. He puts it on you with that offense. And I'm not supposed to trust the Chargers to do the same. I get it. The Cowboys are at home. I also understand that you're not going from west to east. You're going from what is it, the middle of the country, from west to the middle of the country. It's a 12 o'clock game. It's not a 10 a.m. game there in Dallas. This is only 2 hours away. So I mean, if I'm I feel good about. I know it's a 10 a.m. game, but the Chargers are tested now. They just beat up on the Eagles. They beat up on the Chiefs. I expect them to beat up on the Cowboys here as well.
Yeah, if the Chargers are playing like an explosive team like the Lions or the Rams, like I think those teams would be bad matchups
Yes.
because they can't score points right now. This Cowboys team, you smack them in the mouth, they're gonna fold. They're pretenders. So, yeah, they're part of my wins challenge here. I regret picking them. They're soft, so you'll be fine, Chargers fans.
Yep, I'm with you. So yeah, I'm still shocked by this line, but one thing I do remember you always bringing back up about the Cowboys is that a lot of their fans are gonna bet on
Yep,
them, and they're kind of like the Raiders. They're
that's part of it
loyal
too.
to
Yeah.
the end. So
Yep. They probably see a wounded offense. They're like, oh, we could probably win this one, and they're pouring their money in.
yeah, I'm with you there. All right, Gilbert, let's get to our Super Dog contest Week 16
Oh, real
pick.
quick, just to
Yes.
give a pick here, and I'll give you some
Oh yeah,
quick
yeah. My bad.
nuggets. Seahawks Rams here because it's been all over the place and it's a betting show, so I just want to touch on it real quick here. But make sure to watch the Tyler Dragon interview. USA Today NFL reporter insight there from Tyler, who's going to be in Seattle, by the way, for the Thursday night showdown. He broke it down there. I love the question that you asked him at the end, Vic, and he gave a great answer for that one. And then we're going to have the preview show. If you're watching live right now, we're going to do that right after here. Bear with us here on with that show, but we'll get to it eventually. And then if you're watching the replay, watch House of Horns for a Rams Seahawks full preview. Now, I asked Mike Palm, the odds maker at the Circa, about the movement here. Like, what is it? And honestly, Mike was like, I don't know, man. Like, the last time I saw Darnold against this team, he had 4 interceptions. I don't believe it. So Mike, he took a guess. He wasn't sure. He said, I think people got spooked by the Devontae Adams injury and also the mess with the plane. Like, it just seems like the bad weather too. So it seems like maybe this could be a game where the Rams get cut off guard, and then you don't have Devontae. So I think if there's money now coming in, the game is so close to game time that maybe the sharps have been waiting to, get they probably say, okay, the Rams are going to be a favorite, but they won't go over like a 3. So this is probably the best we're going to get. And they probably jumped on Seahawks plus 1.5. And now you see what happens. So, but I will say I don't care. I'm still taking the Rams. Now I get a free point. So I'll take the Rams or 1.5. Give me plus 1.5.
Yeah, I won't get too much into it because I kind of want to get in depth. So make sure you check out House of Horns because I have a lot more stuff in terms of the Sam Darnold of it all, like that
Yep.
offensive line for the Seahawks. There's a lot of question marks, and I get it. The Devontae Adams injury is huge, but I'm with you. I'm taking the Rams here, especially when you're giving me 1.5 points here. I'm taking it. I get it. It's a short week. It's gonna be raining, but I just yeah, like we'll get into
Yep.
the how pivotal this game is and why it's I know Fernando laughed about it, but he said like there's why are we talking about this game? There's better games out there. I'm gonna tell you why this is a game of not only the week, but it is the best game the rest of the year and what it might do for the rest of
Yeah.
the playoff seedings, Gilbert.
Yeah. Watch Jaguars Broncos be a classic because Fernando said that's the best game of the week. So we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, he has been right about some things. He wasn't right about the what was it? The Raiders and was it the Raiders
Raiders
and
Broncos
Broncos?
second
Yeah.
time around they got blown out.
Yeah. All right. Let's now get to our Super Dog contest. Week 16 pick of at least a 4.5 underdog, Gilbert. And I gotta say, man, you've been on a roll with this one. You've either covered or you won straight up. Last week you got 10 points for the cover and the straight win on that 5.5 for the Vikings over the Cowboys. You called it. What do you have for us this week?
Yeah, I'm not trying to make excuses, Vic, but you beat me to
Oh,
the
I
punch for the
know.
one
Go
that
ahead.
I wanted.
Yes.
And it's either the one that I'm going to share right now or
Yeah.
Jets plus 4.5. And I know we have a rule
It
about
was a
going
bad
to,
week for dogs, like
yeah,
the big one. So I
there's
totally
a lot of
get
close
it. I
games
I
too.
waited as long as I could, but you hadn't put your
Yeah,
bets in, and
no,
I had to go with
no,
the one that was there.
it's fair because I put my bets in a lot early sometimes, and I beat you to the punch, so it's only fair.
Right.
But yeah, to break it down, it was either the Steelers plus 7 against the Lions or Jets plus 4.5 against the Saints. And I know we kind of have like an unwritten rule that we go over the 4.5 and we kind of go 5.5 and above. So I didn't feel right with that. And even then, I think the Saints are going to handle, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Uh, so with that being said, I got the Steelers with plus 7 here against the Lions. I think the Lions are gonna maybe boat race them, but you never know. They've been playing well. The Steelers, they defensively they're better. I don't know about T.J. Watt coming back this week. It might be a little too soon for what's going on with him. Uh, but plus 7 is a high number too, and they're a playoff team currently. They've won 2 games in a row. They beat the Ravens. They beat the Miami. They're not the Detroit Lions, but the Lions are not that mighty this year. My concern is that it's kind of like for different reasons. Like a little bit kind of Cowboys Chargers were like, okay, if the Cowboys get in a row, can the Chargers score? They have the defense, so. But the Steelers, I don't think they can hang with the Lions, even if they have a great performance defensively. They're going to score their points here. Hey, maybe get a backdoor cover. Aaron Rodgers has been playing well too. I really like I really like their running backs. They're not like physical running backs and they're not star running backs, but Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren have kind of been a nice combination at the backfield for an old quarterback who needs to get the ball out quickly. It's been working wonders there. And then they set up the deep shot for DK Metcalf. It takes a long time for DK to get involved, but that's the way you got to operate with a 42-year-old quarterback. I know I'm not making a lot of points here for my team, but hey, I'll take a chance because I love the number plus 7.
Yeah, and it was an ugly, lines this week in terms of like trying to figure one out. And I'm gonna give you mine, Gilbert. Mine was, as you said, this was both wanted this one. I got to the rundown earlier than you. I tried to give you as much time, but I'm like, if I don't do it now, and since he's running late, I better put in the numbers. But I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not even 100% on this one. The Colts plus 6.5 at versus the San Francisco 49ers. And the only reason I went with this, Gilbert, is because they're at home. It's on Monday
Oh
night.
yeah.
It gives Phillips Rivers an extra day.
Yep.
We saw what he was able to do. You don't need much from the Colts. their defense has played. They played really well against the Seahawks, but honestly, that's not saying much going up against Sam Darnold. This will be a better matchup for that defense. And, we saw like the coach should be able to move the ball on this San Francisco 49ers team who doesn't have much of a pass rush. We saw what happened against the Titans. The Titans, I think, stayed in the game. And so, yeah, I that's the only reason I'm going here. I feel like at home, the Colts play better at home and they'll at least keep it close. But I still like the 49ers to win this game.
If the 49ers did not have Robert Saleh as their DC, I would have been like, I think the Colts could win this game here. Like, I
Yeah.
think they could cover, but I don't know about winning this game here because the Colts kind of have an advantage here. And I know it's a small thing, but Steichen being a good offensive mind, now having Rivers also on the field, like when Daniel Jones was there, he was able to offer more because he's younger and more mobile. But the reason why they were winning games early on because he was running the scheme perfectly for Steichen, and Rivers knows how to run it. But the thing is, like when you're playing, you're playing chess, but you're not playing against somebody playing checkers. Robert Saleh is the same way. It's going to be it's going to be a pretty fun coaching matchup between Rivers and Steichen and Saleh. But I think the 49ers scored too many points, and it's kind of like the theme of the day, like an offense that can't really score and one that can. The Colts cannot hang. And then if it gets close to, I think Rivers could throw a duck again, and then the game will be over. But the number's good, and
Yeah.
same thing with the Steelers. But if I had to pick from the two, it would have been Indy. But yeah, if CMC goes off, good luck trying to keep pace.
Yeah. The only difference is that the Steelers are on the road and the Colts are
Yeah,
here at home.
that's a
And that's
better.
been one of my things. Like
Yeah,
if I'm gonna take a a big underdog, I wanted it to be a home team. But before we move on here, Gilbert, and give you a bunch of praise here for what you've been doing lately. Let me ask you something. Who fits better with the Colts as a quarterback next year, especially with the Tua news? Is it Tua or is it Kyler?
oh man, I don't know.
Because Daniel Jones is not going to be ready to go, so they're going to have to pivot.
Yeah, that's actually a good question because they're going to be both available. Uh, Kyler offers more with the running game. Tua is accurate and he can maybe run the offense better for Steichen. Seeing what he wanted from Jones, where he gave him the training wheels, I think Tua could work with the training wheels. Kyler, I don't know. He did try to play with training wheels in Arizona again, and it didn't work. He needs to be more free and more of a backyard. I don't think Steichen wants that, so I'm gonna go with Tua.
I'm with you. I just think because he's able to get rid of the ball, and
Yeah,
he has a better offensive line here. There's a better structure here.
yeah,
If I'm the Colts, I trade. Like what I do if I'm Miami, and I know he has that $60 million cap hit or whatever
wow,
it is, or the dead money's like 90 million next year. Like I try to package because remember Sauce Gardner had that second round pick. I mean, sorry, Sauce Gardner cost them 2 first round picks.
yeah.
If I'm Miami, I give them either a second or a third plus Tua, and then I trade Richardson to them, and that way Richardson can start anew with the
Well,
Dolphins. But
maybe try Richardson again. That could be a cheaper
yeah,
option too.
yeah, that is true. We'll see what happens. All right, Gilbert, you are still in the lead by 19 points, 172. Even though you went 1-4 and I went 4-1 last week, it did not matter because you hit on your super dog and that got you the 10 points plus the straight win there by the Vikings. So that could like I could have made some a push there, but it didn't do anything because you got that the super dog. But
Yeah.
let's get to our betting locks of the week here, Gilbert. Our 5 best bets. What do you got for us this week? Let's start off with your number 5.
Yeah, I was not in love with any game, and when I get to that point, I like to stick to the rules, and obviously
Yep.
look for like a divisional team or divisional game where the dog is like getting 6 points. And credit to you on the Falcons Buccaneers last week. I wasn't in love with the Falcons, but they got the number. They were over the field goal line and they covered and they won the damn game. I'm like, I should follow the rules. So this one is like more about narratives, and I think because JJ McCarthy is playing well now. The Vikings beat the Commanders. Who cares? The Vikings did beat the Cowboys. A little more impressive for JJ. Still, not really much to brag about. So I think this could be a game where JJ regresses a little. You know, he's still up and down. That's two good games. Now maybe he's due for one bad one. Maybe there's a rare game where the Giants front puts pressure on him. They have a bunch of pass rushers, right? Freaking use them. And then yeah, and they're at home. That's one of your rules too. They're at home and
Yep.
they're getting 3 points. So F it. I'm not in love with it, but I'm just gonna go with it. People are really now with the Vikings. They probably say, "Oh, they're gonna destroy this Giants team because they're bad." So give me Dart to hang for a little bit.
Yeah, I like this one just because of what you said, and he's having to play outside. Those 2 wins were inside, at home,
Yep.
so, I would like to see what happens when he has to play outside, and I know he played at Michigan, that was outside, but this is a very different situation here. So, you get accustomed to playing inside. Alright, number 4, Gilbert.
Yeah, I already touched on this one. I'm not confident, but I'll give Lamar Jackson the chance here. But I'm more on the defense doing well here.
Okay, number 3.
Same thing here. I've been praising the Broncos like crazy lately. I think their defense will come through here too.
Number 2.
This is the one that I liked for yours, the Colts plus 6.5. But you see how I have it low. I'm not that confident, but it's more about the number I like here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Number 1.
This one, I want to be done with the Cardinals. I just heard Mike Palm. This is information from Mike. He said for the pros versus Joe's game, it's the Falcons and the Cardinals, and the pros are on the Cardinals. So hey, a lot of times when I listen to the pros, they come through. So why not here on crappy Arizona? Give me the 1 point. And last week the 1 pointer hit for me. It was the Rivers and the Seahawks. So why not?
Yeah, and I mean the Falcons are coming off a big win, and like I said, it's just Kirk Cousins has had a good career against the Buccaneers, or he's played well. I
Yeah,
just this was
reputation.
on the road again, and I know it's inside, but I mean Jacoby Brissett's been on a heater lately since he took over. I mean garbage time, but we'll see
Yeah.
what happens there. All right, Gilbert, I'm going to give you mine. I'll be quick with mine. My number 5 is the Lions -7. I know that was one of your your
Yeah.
super dog. I just like the Lions here.
I don't blame you.
They're fighting for their playoff lives, and we saw what they can do offensively. They just couldn't stay with the Rams, and so I feel like this is a get right game for them. I get it, as you talked about. The Steelers are first place team, but it just feels like the Lions are on a different level than the Steelers right now, even though they're out of the playoffs at this moment.
Yeah, if it's a 10-0 game out the gate, it you won this bet.
Yeah. Number 4, we talked about it. I like the Chargers. I don't understand why this line is plus 2.5. Maybe it's like you said, the Cowboy fans have betted this game, down, and that's the way we are looking at this line. But give me the Chargers. I think I've been on them for like 3 weeks in a row, or maybe 2 weeks in a row. No, I didn't pick them for the Eagles game. That's right. Number 3, like I said, I'm just taking here with the Packer. I really like the Bears in this game, but in terms of the line, maybe the Pat. It just seems like it's gonna be like one of those close games where the Bears eke it out by 1 point. I don't know why. It just feels that way. We'll see what happens. And my number 2 is the Rams plus 1.5 against the Seahawks. We talked about it. Like I just I don't understand how this line flipped, but hey, shout out to the Sharks. Maybe they know something. Maybe they think the Rams can't travel on the road, even though I think they've won every game there. I believe Sean McVay is undefeated in Seattle. I'll have to check on that before House of Horns, but I'm pretty
I
sure he
don't. I
hasn't
think I
lost
covered a game where they lost last second. Actually, Bobby
because
Wagner
he
returned.
beat them in the playoffs with like a
Yeah, but
banged up Jared Goff.
I want to say the one where Bobby Wagner returned as a Ram, they lost like on the last second field goal. I'm
Oh, that's
pretty
right,
sure.
the
Yeah,
2022 season. I don't count that one.
yeah, but yeah, that was actually a fun game to be at.
Yeah. And then my number 1, I went with the Panthers plus 3 here versus the Buccaneers. We talked about it. It seems like the it doesn't seem like it. No, the Panthers are like Jekyll and Hyde team. One week they win, then the next week they lose, then the next week they win, then the following week they lose. That's how they've been. They lost the last game. They should win this game. I don't know why. That's just the way they've been all season. All right, Gilbert, let's get to our quick hitters here. We're going to start here with the Saturday game. The Philadelphia Eagles traveling to the Washington Commanders. The Eagles are 6.5 point favorites. The over under here is 44.5.
Uh, yeah, the Eagles destroyed the Raiders. I think they get beat up on the bad team. So give me the Eagles and minus 6.5.
Yeah, I'm with you. Buffalo Bills traveling to the Cleveland Browns. The sorry, let me fix that line. The Bills are 10.5 point favorites. The over under here is 41.5.
Yeah, why not? I'll lay the points. That's a lot of points, but the Browns have checked out. Give me the Bills minus 10.5.
I'm with you on that one too. They're already, like you said, they're already looking for vacation spots because the season is over for them. All right. Next one, Jets, New York Jets at the New Orleans Saints. I have it here as minus 4.5. The over under is 40.5.
Yeah, the Saints have been playing better, and the Jets have gotten worse. They were fighting for a bit for Aaron Glenn, and then now they're playing like some undrafted rookie quarterback. Yeah, and Shuck has been playing
Brady.
well. Yeah, Tyler
Brady
Shuck has been
Cook.
playing well for them, and yeah, this rookie they're playing is not that good. So give me the Saints, and that's a lot of points, but why not minus 4.5? And they got destroyed by the Jaguars. They've checked out defensively, and they fired their DC too.
Yep, I saw that. And then I must say, like, out of like the teams that I thought were gonna be bad, I thought Kellen Moore has done a good job with this Saints team. I know it's not saying a lot, but
They're
the
fighting.
fact that they've been able to beat the Bucks and the Panthers, it says a lot, Gilbert.
Yeah, that's the two best teams in the division. That's 3 wins right there. I think they're 3-1 in that division. Or against those
Yeah.
opponents.
So yeah, give me the Saints as well. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. The Chiefs are 3 point favorites, and the over under here is 37.5.
I know it's Minshew, but it's still Tennessee. So give me the Chiefs here.
Yeah, I just wonder like whether or not they care about um play not playoff draft position. So, but I'm with you. If you're Andy Reid, you're
Yeah.
still wanting to get wins to add to your resume. So, yeah, I'm with you. I like the Chiefs in this one. This one we have the Vegas Raiders traveling to the Houston Texans. The Texans are 14.5 point favorites. The over under here is 37.5.
Yeah, and this is definitely not going to be part of my dog, my super dog. No way. Raiders are terrible right now. But hey, the Texans offense woke up against the Cardinals. They dropped 40 on them, so maybe they could cover this massive line here. That's a lot of points, but give me Houston again.
I think the better line, Gilbert, is does the Raiders offense is the over under is it 100 total yards or what's the over under on that? They had
Uh,
they they've had two of the worst offensive games in history. The one against the Chiefs where and then the one against the Eagles last week.
It's funny. People like to brag, like, "Oh, the Chargers beat the two Super Bowl teams from last year. Oh, the Cowboys beat the two Super Bowl teams from last year in 4 days." And it's like, "Oh, the Raiders got blown out by both teams that played in the Super Bowl last year." So they're doing it the different way.
Yeah. Yeah, give me the Texans here. I think they'll cover. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they win by more than 20 points here. Last one here is the Bengals at the Dolphins. The Bengals are 3.5 point favorites. And the over under here is 47.5.
Give me the Bengals. Joe Burrow, you got to do better. I don't know. Miami with Quinn Ewers. Nah, I know I've been picking all the favorites for the for the quick hitters, but I'm gonna keep it going. Give me the Bengals.
Yeah, same. Give me the Bengals, especially when you're starting a rookie at a quarterback. I mean, you're pretty much waving the white
But
flag
it's
on
the
this
right
team.
call, Mike McDaniel. If that kid plays better under your guidance, it's a better chance for you to keep your job.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's just yeah, like it was time for him to do something like
Yeah.
and he
Well,
can
too
say,
late.
"Hey, he wasn't my pick. I didn't draft him. It was, Career who drafted him, so he can, wipe his hands and be like, "Hey, not my problem." And
Yeah.
let me get my own quarterback in here. Let me show you what I can do with him.
Yeah, maybe it could that pitch could maybe sell them. We'll see.
we'll see what happens. All right, Gilbert, that is all of week 16. A lot of line changes in this week, but I like where we're at in terms of like we know where these teams are at. Injuries suck. That's kind of changed some of the lines, but it could. I gotta say, for as much criticism as I've given the NFL for most of the season, the last couple of weeks have hit. Like they've been really good. We're finally getting those good matchups, especially in the primetime windows.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. There've been some good games, and there's like a handful of good games on schedule for Week 16. But time to get out of here. Hopefully, those betting picks help you out. But again, make your own choice, and all we want to do is share the information, pass it along for you to make the best decision here. So, good luck with your bets. Good luck with fantasy football, consolation bracket, championship bracket, whatever it is. Enjoy family time during the holidays, and then we got a bunch of games Thursday night, Rams, Seahawks, and then you got doubleheader on Saturday. A lot of football here, but it's time to get going here. Ya nos vamos, pues.